thank you very much for your patience in waiting for this next episode. I've been unwell for about a week, and we are back now with content for the future. We're back every day now, or every weekday, as per usual, with the regular uploading schedule. So you left us, to refresh your memory, hopefully you took the opportunity to catch up on everything you might have missed in this save, the player career mode save and the Formula 1 save over on the second channel. We are mid-January. We are second in the Premier League, and at the minute, in the midst of a title challenge campaign for the Premier League. We're sadly out of the FA Cup, but we're in the semi-final second leg of the Carabao Cup to come in tomorrow's episode, where we got a 1-1 draw against Arsenal in the first leg, and hopefully we will be able to get through to the final and have the opportunity to win a trophy this season in terms of a domestic cup before, fingers crossed, maybe winning the Premier League this year. That's the aim now. It has to be, really. 21 games played, a point behind Chelsea and 7 points clear of Manchester City. At this stage, you say it's a two-horse race. And we are one of those two horses and have been for the majority of the season. With regards to those that are out injured, they are on their way back now, which has put us in a really awkward position with the transfer window. Because as you left me, or as I left you, we weren't sure what to do with the 20-odd million pounds we had currently left in our budget. We weren't sure whether to bring in loads of loan players to cover for the injuries. We weren't sure whether to buy someone that would fill a gap in the squad in the short term, or whether to just save it for next season, where obviously if we are going to be in Europe next year, we're going to want to spend big in as many places as possible, and quite frankly, I'm going to need every single penny I have available to me to do that. You guys were so very vocal about your distaste for any move to replace Aaron Ramsdale in the starting lineup. Heard. Ramsdale stays as number one. We're not going to get anyone else in to replace him. I may sign a backup goalkeeper with the £20 million between now and the end of the window. With regards to the rest of the squad, Esposito's back in 3 days. Richarlison's back in 6. Quiñones is back in 11. And Branthwaite's the only one that is more than a couple of weeks. So with regards to the squad depth, we've actually been able to weather the storm very well and are really quite close to being back at our full quota before the end of the window. So, quite frankly, I don't need to spend anything anymore as it stands. Everyone's recovered very well. Our physiotherapy department has outdone themselves. So, I'm going to go and play West Ham, and then I might sign a backup goalkeeper, or we might just carry that money over to next season. Obviously, you don't just get the 22 million lump sum added to your budget next year, but certainly a percentage of it does get factored into a slightly inflated transfer budget for the next season. So we will look to utilise that as a function, I think. But right now, the challenge is win the Premier League this season. It's been a long time since Everton won the top flight in England. Certainly not since the Premier League's inception, that's for sure. Not since the 1980s have Everton been the best team in the country. We are aiming to change that in this third season here. And hopefully, we will do so. West Ham with the 4-2-3-1. Bryce Samba, Fran Garcia, Mavropanos, Hansko and Cambiasso, Souček and Rodriguez, Somerville, Trincao, Ayarthabal and Joshua Zirkzee, who's ripped me a new one every time we've played against him. Now is the opportunity, hopefully, to rip West Ham a hole in their bubble. And fingers crossed, keep ourselves challenging with Chelsea at the top of the table. Please forgive any rustiness in both gameplay and commentary. It's been quite a few days since I last recorded. But I'm hoping any ring rustiness gets brushed off very quickly. And we can have a wonderful day. Well, Pepelou's rocket shots have been known to fly into the top corner. On this occasion, blocked by a defender and skew into the bottom corner. It was on its way towards the top right. Sorry, top left. It went to the bottom right. That is, as Feynman quite rightly says in chat, a big, dirty deflection. And do we care? Do we balls? Trincao, good footwork. And Ayarthabal. Back inside to Trincao again. Tricky, as ever. Ayarthabal to Trincao again. Zirkzee, good save Ramsdale. Down low, strong arm. Good palm away. Right, he's got a couple of options here, Xerxes. And he's used Trincao. That's what I was trying to do with Pepelu. Hopefully my goalkeeper equal to it this time, as it did reach him. Fresneda wins the header. Lots of people on the floor, including Fresneda himself, who gets up well enough to tackle Xerxes as he runs back into the box. Defensively sound so far here. Dovbyk looking for India. If I can get to that first, we could have sent the man away down the line. I'm not sure whose advantage that is. Turns out it's ours. And Carey will look to utilise his explosive acceleration to get Dovbyk in, who will look for Ndiaye, who's off the physio's injury bench and onto the score sheet once more. Everton 2, West Ham 0. We are back with a bang, and hopefully, if Chelsea drop points, going top once more. A fantastic counter-attack. This is dominant from us so far. Dovbyk needs to get himself in the box, please, which he has done, and the cross is superb. The header's not bad either. And Hansko gets to it first. That power header trait coming in handy there. I'm not sure whether Bryce Samba tipped it onto the bar or whether it, quite frankly, just went straight up there and smashed off the top of the bar straight from Dovbyk's header. But offside is the call as West Ham try and catch us on a counter-attack. It could have been 3-0. It could have been 2-1. We'll stay as is. And again. Oh, nice from Trincao. Ramsdale just bats it away. It's not a very catchy goalkeeper, is he, Ramsdale? He's very much a puncher or a parrier. But he's certainly a clean sheet getter. Last time we played West Ham, I'm sure you recall, they had 2 men sent off in the opening 20 minutes and then didn't react well, that was good. Didn't react defensively to those changes, so we kind of capped ourselves with the scoreline. As it turns out, the goal difference that we could have ludicrously gotten ourselves in that game might have seen us in a European competition this season rather than having to wait till next. But we weren't to know that at the time. De Kuyper will look for Dovbyk again. This time I put a little bit too much on it, but it's going to fall to Ndiaye. It's a wonderful first touch and the driven finish just wide off the post. The dominant first half display and confirmation from the earlier question. Yes, Bryce Samba did tip Dovbyk's header onto the bar. Well in, Ferguson. Lewis Ferguson is so good at breaking up the play like that. Makes him so usable as a forward-thinking midfielder that breaks up play high up the pitch. If I was to play a gegenpress, I bet Lewis Ferguson would be outrageous in a gegenpress setup. Carey's underneath this, you know. We've hit the bar again. Young Carey nearly grabbed his first goal for the club, and then he's turned a little bit too quickly for his own good there. And lost possession. All right, Crescencio. We've hit the bar twice. We've gotten it in twice. And West Ham are looking like they're going to get nowhere near any sort of points this afternoon. Ferguson does it again. So, I mean, he's just great, Lewis Ferguson. Incomparable thus far to anyone else we've used on FC25 in terms of their ability to win the ball back. Dovbyk's not bad at finishing either. That was very accurate. Not too difficult for Samba to save, though. Pepelu will deliver the corner, though. And Samba will save again. Lewis Ferguson, ladies and gentlemen. You will tire of hearing me saying it eventually, but my God. Little back heel would have been lovely. Would have made it look a bit better. But the finish was pretty impressive in itself. Anyway, Ndiaye bags again. We are 3-0 up against West Ham, and this time they have got 11 men on the pitch. That's a great first-time strike. Bryce Samba is a quality goalkeeper, but he couldn't get anywhere near that one. Patterson with the throw. Dovbyk and quickly down the line. Ndiaye's on a hat-trick, so we'll look for him here. And it would have been quite a way to get said hat-trick, but the goalkeeper had other ideas. This time he was able to get to it. Oh, are you serious? All right, Mikel Merino will have a goal. West Ham will get one back. Welcome back to FC, lads. A little bit silly sometimes. There's the final whistle. They do get one back, West Ham. They shouldn't really have, but they did. And a 3-1 victory is what we will take back to the Northwest. We'll take it. Very happy with a 3-1 win. Let's be honest, Liverpool 2, Manchester United 0. The biggest standout result from the other fixtures. I didn't actually glance to see what Chelsea's result was, actually, which is probably the one I should have looked at a little bit more closely, considering they're our current title rivals. But we'll have a glance at the league table when we get back, and it says first next to us. And I could have looked for Chelsea's result, but I wouldn't have seen it because they haven't played it yet. They've got Fulham at home on the... No, they've got Leicester away, even. On the 17th. Leicester are relegation zone. They're 14th. Southampton, Ipswich and Burnley are those in the relegation zone. Well, one would imagine that, that Chelsea would get a result from that one. Regardless, I think we might genuinely stand a great chance of going top and staying top for the rest of the season if we can beat sides of the calibre of Manchester City now. They're always a really, really difficult game. But of all of the big sides, City are one of the few that occasionally we've actually been able to keep rather quiet. We got a draw against them last time we played them, I think. Some interest in some fringe Patreon players. Chelsea victorious against Leicester. Goal difference is strong for both ourselves and Chelsea at the moment, significantly so over anyone else. And actually, with City being the next closest team to us, if we beat them, the gap from second to third would grow to 10, which would be huge at this stage of the season. But obviously, if it doesn't go our way, then the gap is only 4. And that brings them right back into the hunt. Chelsea, we have, at the end of the bloody month, oh God, I hadn't realised that the last 2 fixtures of this particular episode were going to be quite so important. Right, okay, yikes. City first, then Chelsea. They're both at home at least. We might well have Richarlison back available for the one against City as well. If not, then he should certainly be back for the game against Chelsea. But if I go to my squad, I'm pretty sure Richarlison should be available now. Or was it Esposito that was going to be back? It's Esposito that's back. But quite frankly, let's be honest, Ndiaye's been scoring so many goals, I can't really take him out at the minute. What I could do, though, is put him out to the wide right and Carey can drop to the bench. Sorry, Carey, you're all right, but you're not that good. You are certainly replaceable in the starting lineup. He has been replaced, and hopefully we can replace Chelsea at the top of the table, at the very least by the end of the episode, but you never know. Maybe by the end of this next fixture round of this next fixture weekend. Well done, brain. Manchester City have arrived and they've brought with them Ederson in goal in their 4-3-3. It's Fardiol, Diaz, Upamecano and Kabore. Valverde, Gavi and Rodri. Doku, Haaland, Foden. Very familiar looking Manchester City starting lineup. We have for us back in the 11 Esposito. And Richarlison is fit enough to play on the left-hand side of our midfield for this fixture. We're getting back to full strength again. The results have still been strong. And hopefully we'll get stronger yet still now that we have more and more of our first-team players becoming available week in, week out. Dovpit will look for Ndiaye in behind. Fardiol got caught in a little bit of no man's land there. And well, Richarlison's available at the back post, and I'll get him to attack this, which he has done with brilliant, brilliant results. Everton are back, Richarlison's back, the Pigeon's back. We lead against City. What a start! City get away with it, and Doku is really causing me some concern down the wing, but for the time being, we've dealt with it. It was Jake O'Brien that had that little injury knock, but he's able to continue for now, and hopefully we'll be able to once we get back to the menus as well. Here's Valverde now. Lovely ball to Doku. Lovely turn. I can't get there. I thought a pen was going to be given, in all honesty. The post was hit and play continues. Here comes Kabore, who lost out at the back post to Richarlison with the header that gave us the lead. Here's Gavi now to Fede Valverde. Doku has got options involving Haaland. He goes for goal. Foden, Valverde. Of course, it's Ferguson that steps in. And now comes our counter-attack. Ndiaye. Dovbik's going for it through that gap. Up against Ruben Dias and Josko Fardiol. And it's the defence that comes out on top of the attack. Here comes the City press. Not working though. Dovbik. Oh. Dovbik just let the ball get a little bit away from him there. And Fardiol will find Doku here. And as ever, he's got Haaland running. Doku's been the most dangerous man in the City shirt so far today. Keeps having chance after chance after chance. Woodwork struck already once. Thankfully so far, they haven't found the back of the net. That's a lovely ping out to Richarlison. Who's, certainly got Issa Kabore all kinds of worried. And with the fact that they've requested subs in the bottom right, I wonder whether Issa Kabore might be off here. And indeed he is. Manchester City shot themselves in the foot. It's not a great challenge. Richarlison dominated Issa Kabore in the first place to score the goal, and now has managed to tempt him into throwing himself into a challenge and has gotten him sent off too. The pigeon is shithousing his way into the Everton fans' hearts once more. Oh, I needed to try and get there. Uh-oh. Well, even with 10 men, from the free kick that led to them going down to 10 men, Erling Haaland does not equalise because Aaron Ramsdale makes a great save. That could certainly have changed the complexion of the fixture. Dovbik looking for Esposito. This could change the complexion of the fixture, but it's gone straight to Edison, unfortunately. Pepelu out to Fresneda. And then Ndiaye. We could do it again. It's Richarlison at the back post for a second time. Edison makes the save. Well, if there's a little bit of a mismatch at the back post with whichever right back any team has played against us, we are quickly learning that Richarlison can very much be utilised as an option from crossing situations. Already scored one today on his return and very nearly added a second to it. City will still be very, very capable of getting a result from this fixture, even with 10 men for more than a half. But if we can hold on, this would truly cement a two-horse race in the title fight. Until, of course, we play Chelsea in the next fixture, lose that, and it brings everybody behind that little bit closer, and the two-horse race opens up again. But for the time being, two-horse race. Foden. Well in, Roger. Banyus does really well. Dovbik will drive centrally. Oh, challenge from Rodri. That's disgusting. What an effort from the Ballon d'Or winner that was. Wow. Pepelu. Ferguson. Forward to Esposito. Richarlison's out there. Narrowed them up a little bit here, City. Richarlison shakes off Upamecano not once but twice. Oh my God, Gavi! Are you trying to commit murder? Whoa! That was outrageous. Right, Esposito, you can have a crack from here. Why not? We know what you're like. I can't even begin to tell you how disgusting that Gavi challenge was. Esposito from a long way out forces the save at least, but even by Esposito standards, that was probably a little bit too much to ask for from there. From my free kick, City could equalise now. Haaland in the box at the other end. Stoppage time at the end of the game. Ibanez with a big header. Ndiaye needs to win this and will clear it. It will be a 1-0 Everton victory. But it certainly could easily have been 1-1 or more so in City's favour with that counter-attack. With the one-on-one that Haaland had earlier in the game. With chances from Doku in the first half an hour. City were certainly the better side, but we got the result on the day, and we are thrilled with that. Thank you, Mr. Richarlison. For some reason, the in-game stadium announcers continue to get players' names wrong, and when you score a goal with Richarlison, he says Richarlison. Same as James Ward-Prowse we had in the Southampton save on the second channel last season. Might even have been the year before, actually, now. It's annoying, isn't it? There are a lot of annoying little things about the game, but I try and cut as much of it out as I can whilst leaving some in, so you guys know that I too get the BS that you guys get, and you're not the only ones that encounter the absolute nonsense that happens at times. It is widespread. O'Brien is injured. How long is O'Brien injured for? 3 months with a broken toe. Right, we do need a centre-back then in the remaining few days of the January transfer window. We don't, however, absolutely have to win against Chelsea to stay top. A draw will be good enough because they've lost on match day 23 and we lead the way. Right, we found a centre-back that we can loan in just for squad depth. I've tried pretty much every centre-back that would possibly, potentially in real life be available given the nature of first team squads at sides that have multiple centre-backs. We've found 7, 8 clubs that have 5 or 6 centre-backs and they won't loan me their 4th or 5th or even 6th choice centre-backs because of flaws in the transfer system in the way that the game is made. So unfortunately, my only option is Christian Mawissa, who's not bad, to be fair to him. 21-year-old. He's okay. 81 stand tackle, 82 heading accuracy. He's going to be good enough to fill the void in the short term. In fact, he's potentially transferring to Napoli, but I'm going to try and take that over and get a short-term loan for him from Monaco, and we'll see what they say. We looked at loads. I've just spent like half an hour trying to find a centre-back that I could loan in, because, of course, we have Jarrad Branthwaite. Jake O'Brien is going to keep that first team spot effectively in the foreseeable future with regards to that next one behind Branthwaite and Ibanez. So Fresneda is going to move across to centre-back for now, and Nathan Patterson is going to get some more football at right-back, and we'll be able to deal with it in that regard. I could always play Mikalenko at right-back as well, because he's got a 5-star weak foot, but another unfortunate injury for us that we're going to have to just take on the chin, and we'll wait and see. If Mawissa does come in, then we'll be delighted. That's going to be a youngster going out. Thomas Bennett, the goalkeeper, going to Besiktas for 6 months. Now, the fact that that other guy might well have been going... Cole Palmer goes to Atletico Madrid. Hello. The fact that the other guy might have been on his way to... to Napoli might scupper our plans for Mawissa slightly. We should wait and see how things pan out as we progress slightly further forwards. That's another youngster going out. There is a fix on the way with regards to the visuals of youth academy players. No time frame on it yet, but I know that it's in the works and is planned to come out at some point in December, I believe, but don't hold me to that. Or more accurately, don't hold them to that. Obviously, things change, but it is something that is near the top of the priority list. So at the moment, still waiting to see if anything comes of that Mawissa deal. I've got lots of bids actually for players that we're really considering selling. Esposito, they've bid 22.5. Have Forest, no thank you. Damsgaard, no. And Arsenal want Ndiaye. Arsenal have offered me £2 million plus a 32-year-old Leandro Trossard. Well, given where we are in the table and where they are in the table, I'm not even gonna contemplate that at this particular moment in time. The sent offer for Mawissa has been accepted, so it's a case of it's up to him. He can come on loan to us, or he can go permanently to Napoli. It's up to the young man as to what his future holds. What's up to us is what our future holds, and our future, hopefully, will hold a victory against Chelsea in it. Chelsea have sold Cole Palmer to Atletico Madrid. They do have some decent players to fill that void, however. Other than Disasi and Caicedo and Nkunku, that is an entirely different Chelsea side that you would expect to see. But is still very bloody good. And Nkunku and Colomwani. Samuel Lino. Oh, tried to step, but I think the defenders on the far side played him on there. And Nkunku finds Yilmaz, and Yilmaz doesn't hit the target. He would have been my go-to for a European attempt next season, Yilmaz, but we're not going to pick him up from Chelsea when they've just bought him. We will have to turn our attentions elsewhere when looking for a new winger. Pepper's going to have to get stuck in here. And does so. Thank you, lad. Drill it to Dovbik. Play it quickly. Looking for the run of Sebastiano Esposito, who's in a good spot here. Esposito! Everyone that comes back from injury at the minute proves that they were a big miss when they weren't available. NDI back in the lineup from injury, scores. Richarlison back in the lineup from injury, scores. Esposito, fill in the blank. It's Christopher Nkunku. And into Lino. Colomwani. Yilmaz, goal. Buried brilliantly. Found the target this time, didn't he? Buried. 1-1 on the stroke of half-time. Maresca delighted. Chelsea level. Nkunku. Oh, it's a lovely ball. And Colomwani has Yilmaz. Feels like he doesn't need him. Maybe he should have used him. Oh, Yilmaz caught me late there. And the referee is going to come across and have a word with him. You can hear what the home fans think of it. What does the referee think of it? Just the yellow for Yilmaz. He gets away with it. No, it's not quite going to open up for me the way I wish it had, but we'll take the free kick there and loft this into a dangerous area. Or do I trust Esposito's goal-scoring capabilities? Come on then. Sebastiano. Wow us. Not quite what I was after. Closer than the one against City, but still not close enough, really, to grab us the goal we were after. Still 2 minutes left in stoppage time here. And we'll look for Esposito through the middle, but the pass is not good enough for me. Picked off in the midfield, and it will be, by the looks of things, a draw against Chelsea at Goodison Park. I mean, I won that back as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Colomwani. Enzo Fernandez. Good save by Ramsdale. Get there, please, De Kuiper. He just jogs towards it. Didn't want to sprint at all. Well, if Chelsea win it now, I'll be furious. Sure many. Chelsea aren't going to win it. It's a draw. We stay top of the Premier League at the end of the January transfer window. And with just February, March, April and May to come, we're really not far away from a potential Premier League title in our third season in charge at Goodison Park, which would be one hell of an achievement. Young Mawissa chose Napoli over Everton. I can't say as I blame him, but it means that we're effectively in a position where we need to buy, because our hand is forced by the game mechanics, not necessarily by anything that would be realistic. So, I'm going to pick up Chancel Mbemba from Marseille, who is perfectly capable and does have Premier League experience, so at least we can get some realism in there. He's going to come in not for much at all. In fact, I could pick him up for about 7 million. It's considerably less than his current value, apparently. Hopefully they fix this soon as well, because that's silly, the fact that the colours are wrong. They've asked for 8. Sure. So, Chancel Mbemba will join us and fill the void left by the injured Jake O'Brien. We will have importance, fine. At least he's got his real face in the game as well, which is another something from an aesthetic point of view for you guys. Give him a 1-year deal if he'll accept it, which is fine, because then he can just bugger off and we can just sign someone else in a latter window. Chancel Mbemba have 40 grand a week. Alright, 42 grand a week, if you're going to be that much of a stickler for it. Chancel Mbemba comes in. Branthwaite will be on his way back within a couple of weeks anyway, so Mbemba will only be a squad player for the foreseeable future. Fills the void. It fills the void. It's not really been the window we were hoping it would be, but at the same time, we did come into it prior to the injuries, not really knowing what to do anyway. So the fact that our hand was forced in a certain direction by the injuries just made it a bit more straightforward. It's just that then the game mechanics made it less straightforward. Sudakov is the biggest deal so far on deadline day. Jacob Ramsey has gone from, in fact that might be Aaron Ramsey, gone from Aston Villa to Frankfurt for 36.8. Rumours at the minute involving a lot of Premier League potential moves, but with 9 hours to go, we'll wait and see if anything else actually goes through. Kakaro is a player we did look at earlier on in the window. Apparently he's been linked with Everton in real life as well, but we've not done anything to actually pursue that at this stage. Jurgensen has moved from Chelsea to Wolves for 36.5. Quansar's moved to Celtic from Lyon. We did look at Quansar from Lyon, but obviously being a former Liverpool player, we decided not to. Hello, Camavinga. So Real Madrid have sold Tchouaméni, they've sold Valverde, and now they've sold Camavinga as well for £130.7 million to Paris Saint-Germain. That is the biggest deadline day sale we've seen in the entire save so far, I'm pretty sure. Might even be the biggest sale we've seen of any kind in the save so far. Or did we see 160 something for someone? I can't recall. Foyt, Liverpool to Villa for £32 million. Anything else going to go through in the remaining few hours? Murillo leaves Forest, Championship Nottingham Forest, of course, to go to Bilbao. Murillo, we did have a look at Championship defenders, actually, and there were a couple we could have gone for. Moise Keane has come back to the Premier League, as has Conor Gallagher, now a Manchester United player, for £38.2 million. Moise Keane, actually, the third biggest deal of the day. And that will be transfer deadline day done. Mikolenko bid withdrawn, but that's fine. We're not interested in selling any of our current players that we have at the squad, especially with the nature of how much time was left in the window and how much money we wouldn't have to replace whoever we sold. So that is deadline day done. And your league table looks as follows. Obviously, this is the Carabao Cup situation with Crystal Palace having a first leg lead against Liverpool, having won intriguingly at Anfield. Hello. And then in the Premier League, we have ourselves a 2-point lead over Chelsea and still a 10-point lead over City with 14 games left to go this season. Palace, 5th in the league, still having a very, very good domestic season so far this year. Not as good as ourselves, though. So, with regards to full transfer roundup for this window, yeah, it's the biggest one of this season, at least. Although was only just bigger than two other giant deals in the January window. Vitinha from PSG to Juventus for 121, and Cole Palmer to Atleti, as we mentioned, he'd gone. I didn't mention the fee because I didn't know it. £122 million is a lot of pennies. Savinho left left City to go to Milan in the middle of the. It was deadline day. In the middle of the in-between windows was Declan Rice to Leverkusen, following in Granit Xhaka's footsteps. Michael Olise moved to Inter from Bayern in the January window for £86.8 million. Anything else from January of note? Brian Brobby for £70 million to AC Milan. Wasn't that many big deals then. Inacio moved to Monaco from Sporting. Kilichoy to Bayern, who's a player we had on our shortlist for a short while. Trubin to Roma. Goalkeeper Trubin? Yeah, Anatoly Trubin, 83 rated. Buongiorno to Leipzig. Really, not that many deals of any real note in the January window at all, was there? Mats Fifa's gone to Atalanta, so he's left Brighton. Moussa Diaby now joins Man United, so that will be an intriguing one to see how he gets on. Johan Bakayoko goes to Napoli from Real Madrid after leaving, I want to say, PSV earlier in his career. Hendricks come to Liverpool. That was in the summer, though, wasn't it? Sudakov, we saw that one go through. Florentino to Bournemouth is a decent one. Mikel Merino to West Ham. We played against Mikel Merino for West Ham in today's episode. Lenny Yoro to Barcelona. That was in the summer. Okay. Well, some big ones, but nothing kind of save-changing. Specifically for us at this particular moment in the Premier League. Although maybe Cole Palmer leaving Chelsea will be a big loss in that hunt for the Premier League title. I'm going to go and update my spreadsheet, and we can let you know where all the Patreon players have or perhaps haven't gone in this January transfer window, and then we are done for today. There have been a couple of moves in the January transfer window for players from the Patreon. We've seen Ben Bessemer move from Manchester United to Borussia Dortmund. We've seen Doncaster Rovers be swapped for Crystal Palace for Liam Taylor, the CDM. A couple of the free agents have picked up clubs as well, which is nice to see. Michael Selegia, now a Liverpool player. Wrexham swapped for Tottenham Hotspur for Jordan Millward. Then another free agent has moved to Fiorentina. Isaac finally has a club. And slightly further down, we've also seen Az Austin swap sunny Real Oviedo for less sunny East London at West Ham United in the January transfer window. But a decent pickup for West Ham out on the left-hand side of their midfield. So if you want to see your stats in any closer detail, then do come and join me across on stream, and you can see them in full detail. But of course, feel free to pause it at any point and you can spot your base stats, your summary stats from the right-hand side here. But thank you very much for your continued support of this Everton save. Hopefully, we can give you guys a Premier League title at the end of this third season here to justify your continued support of the save, thanks to your patience in waiting for me to return from being unwell, which I have now done. Thank you very much for that. That is all for this one. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, where we'll find out whether we'll have a cup final to come later on in the season, because it's Arsenal in the Carabao Cup semi-final second leg to start us off. I'll see you then.